So this candidate was heading or had admit for spring session in US, and he went ahead for his F1 student visa interview and he was rejected in under 2 minutes. So something obviously went wrong in that interview. So I was having a chat with this candidate, but it made me realize that let's do a video about spring student visa interviews, because they will be getting on full flow in just a couple of weeks. So people have already started preparing for student visa interviews for spring session, and if you're in the same boat, then I hope this video will help. So today I just want to cover the main reasons why visa can get rejected, and how to just some good practices you should follow to make sure that your visa also doesn't end up in the rejection pile. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Nishtha from Scholar Strategy and 24 North Star. If you're heading to US for the spring session and preparing for your F1 visa interviews, then today's video is extremely crucial. Here's what I'm going to cover. Number 1, top 5 reasons why your F1 visa may get rejected, and secondly, bonus tips for spring applicants. So do watch till the end for the important tips. Before I proceed, hope you're finding the information valuable in our videos. If you are, please do consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithms and creating more such content. And if the video speaks to you, do hit the like button. Alright, so let's get into the first point, which is top reasons why your F1 visa may get rejected. And number 1 mistake that people make is weak ties to India. So first up, visa officers want to know that you will come back after your studies. So if you don't emphasize your plans back home, it's a red flag. Instead of generic statements like I'll go back for my family, mention specific job prospects, family businesses or responsibilities you plan to return to. Talk like you have really done your homework about how you will continue your life after returning back to India. Second mistake is overemphasis on working in the US. The F1 visa is for study, not long-term employment. If you mention staying in the US to work again and again, it signals you might not be a genuine student. Instead, focus on how this degree helps your career back home. You can mention internships or OPT program, but don't make work the primary goal of studying in the US. Third mistake is lack of knowledge about your program or university. Visa officers want to see that you have thoroughly researched where you're going and why. If you can't answer basic questions about your course, campus or profs, it looks like you are not committed. So get familiar with your program specifics, go through your applications, read the SOP carefully, name a few courses, profs and research areas that you are excited about. Make them feel that you're genuinely excited to study there. Fourth mistake is financial ambiguity. The officer needs to convince that you can afford the program without working illegally. So this is why this guy was rejected that I was mentioning earlier in the video. He had taken a lot of loan, and while he was showing that his parents are sponsoring his education, the parents barely had any good income or savings. This is never a good idea. You don't want to show the full sponsorship via a loan alone, because the VO can think you have the possibility that you might go broke in US and try to work illegally to make money. So if you've got a scholarship, talk about it. If your parents are funding, be prepared with all the documents. Don't leave room for any doubt. They want to see a detailed and realistic financial plan. Fifth mistake is vague or contradictory responses. This can also signal a big red flag. If you say one thing and then something else later on, it raises suspicion. For example, if you say you're passionate about returning to work in healthcare in your home country but can't name any specific hospitals or companies where you would like to work, it weakens your case. So consistency is the key. Make sure you've done your homework, all your answers sound coherent and align with your reasons for studying in the US. Alright, so let's do a quick recap. Here's what not to do. Number 1, don't fail to show strong ties to India. Number 2, don't overemphasize working in the US. Number 3, don't show up without knowing details about your program. Number 4, don't be unclear about how you'll pay for your studies. And 5th, avoid vague or contradictory responses. Now let's come to second part of the video, which is bonus tips for spring applicants, because yes, we often talk about the fall semester, which is the main intake season, but spring has its own quirks and Make sure that you understand them. So visa officers might ask you some questions specific to spring sometimes. So first tip is address the why spring part directly. So spring admissions are less common and visa officers may wonder why you didn't apply for the more popular fall intake, like what's your real intention. So be prepared to explain your decision. You could mention factors like academic readiness, completion of prerequisite courses, or personal reasons that made spring the better choice. For example, I chose spring because it aligns better with my academic preparation. I spent the past few months building my research skills, so I feel fully prepared to take on this program. Second tip is demonstrate flexibility with course availability. Since some courses are scheduled mainly for fall, the officer might question if you have planned your coursework wisely. Confirm that you have reviewed your degree requirements and mapped out how you will stay on track even with fewer courses available in spring. For example, you can say, I've already reviewed my course plan with the university's academic advisor. I'll be able to take core classes this spring and complete electives in the following fall and spring terms. Third tip is talk about your summer plans. You should know that you cannot do a CPT summer internship if you join the course in spring. We covered this in more detail about the spring semester, so do check out the videos. I will leave the link in the description. You can say something like, I plan to do research on campus this summer to further prepare for my career goals. I've already looked into Professor X's work or the projects in ABC Lab where I'm planning to apply for the summer internship. To sum up, show that you understand the downsides of spring and are fully prepared for a successful transition. So that's all from my side. Hope these tips help you. Do let me know how your visa interview goes and all the very best with it. I will see you guys next week with another video. If you have any feedback, comment or suggestion for us, please don't forget to leave it in the comment box below. And lastly, do subscribe and hit the like button if you like this video.